Would you like to do a number before we get to Bryan? As Bryan Kobel, or as Greg says, you're saying it wrong. It's Kobel, which he said to the guest. In fact, Bryan's one of my favorite guys. He and I are becoming friends, and here he is on Zoom. What's up, Buttercup? Oh, sorry. Mr. Bryan, CEO of TCBP.
Oh, look. I've been called worse, so how you guys
Okay,
doing?
are you in a white V-neck? I mean, what is it, casual Thursday, or I slept in my car Wednesday? I mean, what the hell?
You know, it's 100 degrees in Manhattan. I got back to the hotel to do this, and I was like I got this monkey suit off because it was just sweat everywhere.
Let me ask you this. Remember when Congress moved off of the dress code for a moment? They were wearing members-only jackets and white old guys rule T-shirts and those shoes from Costco, the New Balance?
Yeah.
7347s or whatever they're called.
Right.
Could you walk into, as a CEO, and I know you very well, and I have a lot of respect for you, and you have unbelievable experience in biotech and medical, but could you walk into let's say an investor meeting, okay, doing the Don Johnson?
Oh yeah.
Like, could you walk in? Could you walk in with a T-shirt? Because that T-shirt and coat thing, that works sometimes, right? If you're
to be fair, I'm uncomfortable if I go to our office where it's all the biotech scientists are in, whatever they're wearing, and I'm uncomfortable if I'm not in a suit and a tie. Yeah. So the answer is absolutely not. I would be
in antithesis. Mike Costa's Donald Ducking around here, Porky Piggy with no pants on, walking around. He doesn't even care because we can't see. Hey, listen, I want to talk to you because a lot of things are happening with you guys, and it's you guys. I love that you overpromise, underdeliver. Talk about, for the folks that haven't seen you before, because we're on a couple new affiliates. What is TC Biopharma's place in this world, and what are we trying to resolve?
Yeah. So right now TCB008 is a treatment for acute myeloid leukemia. We had an average in our phase 1B for palliative care patients, 38% disease when they entered. 28 days later, 6% disease. We had 2 complete responses. So right now, that's the immediate clear and present. We're launching an antifungal trial in Candida aspergillus. The plan here is to use TCB008 in a more ubiquitous manner. So as a prophylactic for anybody who's immune suppressed, immune compromised, they would get these gamma delta cells from healthy patients or donors who are active, and that would protect their immune system when they're obviously struggling to fight off any number of viruses and infections and things like that. So that's where TCB008
I don't want to interrupt you. What is the addressable market here? Because that's what it comes down to. I understand that there's some that you folks are noble in respect to what you're trying to resolve scientifically. However, I believe that you folks develop drugs because there's a market for the drugs. Can we talk about that part of it? I know it's a grosque thing to talk about when people are sick.
It's massive. It's honestly, we're talking hundreds of billions, right? Anybody who gets chemo would get gamma deltas. Anybody who's on some type of an immune suppression system or immune compromisation. So anybody who's going through any level of cancer treatments would be receiving TCB008 on a regular basis. So they would get it over, one shot every month for 6 months or something like that. There are any number of drugs out there that cause immune suppression or compromise the immune system to treat other patients, as well as just people who are inherently immune compromised or immune suppressed from whatever disease. So you're talking about hundreds of billions for this particular product.
Bryan, are we talking older folks, middle age, young kids? Doesn't matter?
Yeah, from our perspective, it doesn't matter. Frankly, I actually if we get into pediatrics tomorrow, that's a place we want to go rapidly because those are healthy kids and you want to do what you can for children. But to your point, it extrapolates out. Anybody who's immune suppressed, immune compromised, and as you get older, your immune system breaks down easier, your cells are more tired, you have fewer of these gamma deltas. You should be getting this product as you get older on a regular basis, hopefully.
And you can take this if you are taking chemo at the same time, right? Because I'm going to visit a girlfriend of mine who's in San Francisco. She's she's very ill, and I want her to, I'm afraid to see her. Actually, I'm going to wear a mask, but can you take it at the same time as taking chemo?
Yeah, first, I'm sorry to hear that about your friend. But yes, you can. And these particular cells are actually chemo resistant. So they stay activated even when there's chemo in the system and radiation. So they're actually a great combination for chemotherapy for people like your friend who are, to your point, if you go and visit her and she's on chemotherapy, there's a degree of chance where you could potentially infect her with something that's I'll give you an example. Aspergillus is a fungal infection in the gut, which we're going after with TCB008. You only get that if you're basically in chemotherapy or have an extreme high level of immune suppression or immune compromisation, right? So these patients are already really sick, and then they get this horrible fungal infection, and it's a nightmare for them. Hopefully TCB008 can address that, which is, again, a massive market.
Hey, Bryan, I don't want to suggest that what you're talking about is an enterprise-wide solution, but you just talked about potentially this would be good in your system. And we're talking about allergenic gamma deltas. So is this something we could see on the shelves at CVS, or is it something that...
I mean, I think what you could see is like, these IV guys that come to your home, or they give you a shot of NAD or exosomes and all that kind of stuff.
Hold on a second. Have you guys ever had an IV guy in your house?
Nope.
Oh my God, it is.
I've gone to an IV place.
So okay, fine, same thing. So what was your experience? Like they give you a menu. There's like skin glow, hangover, like
Hangover.
Pre-weekend with Bryan Kobel. Or
What would take me 10 hours of just drinking water and sleeping 45 minutes?
From marathon, for example?
That, exactly. No, it was a really bad hangover. We were in Vegas. I figured, what the hell, it was worth the money. 45 minutes? Let's go.
Wow.
No way.
Yeah.
Wow. So Bryan, so talk about the FDA side of this thing. Of course, you've got the malady that we're trying to resolve here, but talking about the consumer market here. Is it automatically checked off once you get there, or suddenly do we have to have prescriptions for that? Because I could see this, at least when the narrative gets out there. Because let's face it, yes, our everything's wearing out at this age, and most of it is our fault. We wore it out, right, and we continue to wear it out. And look, ageism. I got a very good friend named Peter Attia, who's just a friend of mine, who now is front and center in this frickin' TikTok world and as an author. And he talks about ageism, and he's one of these guys that'll go out there. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm going to not eat for 7 days and try to swim around Catalina Island to see if I can, because I did it when I was 20. But honestly, it comes down to what you're capable of doing at an older age is pretty similar to what you can do at a young age if you are trimming the sails, so to speak. Talk about that with what you guys are developing.
Yeah. So on the FDA side, right, as long as you're not making claims, you can kind of get away with a lot of different things as it pertains to these types of products, which is why you see exosomes and NAD and all these other things are available, to your point, via an IV. There is an anti-aging component to this, right? Because as your immune system breaks down, as gamma deltas get less and less prevalent in the system and less activated, you do see a big spike in age-related issues and diseases, obesity, things like that. So there is an argument this is sort of a regulator for your immune system, and your immune system is to some degree a regulator for your aging and how you age, right? 100%, this could be a situation where you're taking gamma deltas for a number of different reasons, one of them being in the anti-aging space to try and ward off some of the issues that you see from taking the Hunter S. Thompson approach of wanting to finish your life sliding
Fear and loathing. Can I say two things I've noticed? Number one, you said obesity, Mike over here like that. And number two, weren't you a gamma delta? Listen, Bryan, before we let you out of here, what are we looking forward to? Got you there.
I'm a gamma.
He's gamma. Bryan, seriously, two questions for you. What are you looking forward to for the rest of this year in terms of getting down the playing field here? I know that you and I've talked privately about some things. You're a CEO of a public company. I don't want to spill the beans on things. Obviously, there's the FDA, getting down the ball, and of course, development of the drug. What else can you share with us as a CEO of a public company that's?
Yeah, I mean, we're really excited about this new sort of M&A approach, right? Obviously, we've got data coming in the second half of this year in AML, which is a great event for the company. The antifungal trial and the proof of concept is coming. But this M&A dynamic where we now have announced a non-binding LOI to acquire CAR-NK technologies, which would put us squarely into solid tumors rapidly, renal cell carcinoma, and I believe another indication as well. Non-small cell lung cancer. And we're looking at a couple other companies that are in the cell therapy space.
Wow.
So we can sort of become like a pure tech, right?
Yeah.
Where we've got a foundation of a bunch of assets. It's an exciting time.
Bryan Kobel, ladies and gentlemen.